Man, I feel bad for us tennis fans. This sport has been completely underserved in terms of quality video games. The only titles which play really well are those created by single developers with low budget. Unfortunately, these games just don't look like modern video games. For years, we have also seen mediocre tennis titles pumped out and then abandoned. And this year, we've all experienced the shit show that Topspin 2K25 release was. One thing is obvious, we are all starving for a modern-looking, properly licensed and satisfying tennis game. And with no other new tennis game on the horizon, a lot of tennis gamers turned their eyes towards Tiebreak. So, is Tiebreak the tennis game's savior we are all waiting for? Sadly, no, not even close. The game has still today very basic and fundamental gameplay problems. AI is unable to play tennis, even on the highest difficulty. Shot balance is out of whack. Serving feels uninspired. Returns are busted. Ball has no physics. Court surfaces make no difference. Scramble sprint is ruining the realism. And there are also tons of non-gameplay bugs and issues, which I will discuss in this review. The state of Tiebreak at the release is absolutely unacceptable. Even the career mode is completely broken as you cannot improve stats of your player. The issues from early access are still in the game today. And is it surprising? To me, absolutely not. Devs had like 1 month since the last patch, and there were already tons of issues with the game in early access. I really don't know what people expected. See, I treat my audience like I treat a good friend. And if a friend asked me whether they should buy Tiebreak today, I would say with absolute no hesitation, no, don't waste your time and money on this broken ass product. Buy Tennis Elbow 4 or Full Ace instead. I mean, sure, Tiebreak looks pretty for tennis game standards. Players are well modeled and shot animations are nicely replicated in the game. But if you want to watch pretty tennis, just turn on the damn TV. At the end of the day, video games are meant to be played, and gameplay is where Tiebreak lacks the most. So in this video, I will focus on all the problems Tiebreak has so that you can make an informed decision whether you want to put up with these issues for the fantasy of playing with your favorite players or not. And hey, if you still enjoy the game, that's cool, I am happy for you. Just don't come back after the honeymoon phase is over, saying how deceived you were by developers, cause friend, you've been warned. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about the experience of Tiebreak. First, we have to talk about the gameplay. Where to even start? This game has so many gameplay issues that I don't even know where to begin. The gameplay of Tiebreak is one of the worst I have experienced in a tennis video game. I wanted to like this game, and I actually felt it had a lot of potential in Early Access 5 a few months ago. But there are so many gameplay components that either barely work or don't work at all. So let's make a rundown of all the problems with Tiebreak gameplay that I have noticed. The first issue is serving. Developers reworked serving in last Early Access update, but it's still pretty bad. Serving gives no advantage, it's just a point starter. In fact, everyone I play against in online matches chooses to return instead of serving, which tells you everything you need to know about serving. And it's not better against computer. Computer now positions itself depending on your chosen serve type, which feels very unrealistic and like a cheap fix. The aggressive serve is also quite hard to pull off, and new players will be frustrated with it, especially since the interface for serving timing is designed really badly and misleading. Safe serve can only now go to the middle of serving area, which is very silly. And if that was not enough, you will get CPU serving notoriously underarm serves, even when you're just standing in default return position. Best of all, they miss most of these serves anyway. So it's like a 3 point even on the highest difficulty. Then we have returning, which is, well, it's broken in both single and online matches. Once you learn to hold both triggers all the time and wait with pressing any other button until your opponent hits the ball, you can basically return any serve in the game. In Tiebreak, you don't need to read the direction of the serve or move correctly. Once you press the shot button for the return, the game will put you in animation lock and move you to where the ball is going. It's so bad that you can do this type of a return. the opponent has no chance to respond to such return, right? I mean, imagine playing online versus this. There is no skill involved on my side. It's just a broke-ass gameplay mechanic. Now, let's talk about important part in tennis video game, the movement. Oh boy, the movement is just terrible in Tiebreak. There's no nuance and skill to moving in this game. All you have to do is press both triggers at the same time to get Super Turbo Sprint. I've been complaining about this mechanic since I bought the game few months ago. Tiebreak is just a worse tennis game with it. But for some reason, developers are stubborn to keep it in the game. Basically in Tiebreak, you can hold sprint all the damn time, cause there are no repercussions. Stamina does not work in this game, since it recharges after every single point. So why not to sprint all the time? Plus, it looks so freaking bad. I mean, look at this footage of Virtua Tennis 4. And now compare it with sprinting in Tiebreak. Then the second issue with movement is the animation lock. Not always, but very often your player gets locked into animation and movement, which results in unrealistic situations. Take this example. My player runs here to the left. The opponent hits the ball to my right. My player is in full speed, running to the opposite direction of the ball when I press the shot button. And when I do it, my player gets locked into animation, which makes him turn in a split of a second and run at full speed, reaching the ball he had absolutely no business reaching. What's even worse is the inconsistency of these animation locks. Sometimes you will get your player to be like stuck in the mud, getting wrong-footed, even when you're holding the proper direction. And then another time, my player will almost teleport to the ball in superhuman speed. And because of all of that, you cannot get properly wrong-footed in Tiebreak. There is no realism, strategy or skill involved in moving in this game, and that's a huge no-go for me. Then we have broken shot balance in Tiebreak. The devs are completely struggling to balance this game. Every patch has one shot type being the safest and strongest at the same time. Few patches ago, the game was basically a topspin simulator. Then, in the next update, the devs have nerfed topspin while making flat shot very overpowered. And now, for the release of the game, they have nerfed flat shot and made topspin yet again the best shot in the game. And despite what many people believe in the community, I don't think fixing shot balance is easy tweak for Tiebreak. See, the reason for shot imbalance is not only the incompetence of developers or lack of testing. The problem lies deeper and is baked into the core gameplay mechanics of Tiebreak. All you have to do in Tiebreak to make a good shot is press the direction of the shot, power it up properly, and be remotely close to the ball for the animation lock to kick in. The amount of nuance and skill involved in this process is very, very low. There's no shot release timing like in Tennis Elbow 4 and Topspin, or precision aiming like in Full Ace Simulator. There's none of that to make shots challenging and rewarding. And this basically means that it's very hard for developers to make flat shot good without it being flat out better than topspin. Oh, and there are also way too many generic running forehand animations and defensive lunges, which disrupt the flow of the match and make it feel very generic. Slices are also very weird due to how messed up the ball physics are in this game. Most of the time, slice floats for like half an hour, but then you will get shots where slice bounces like 10 centimeters off the ground, making it impossible to return the ball. Heavy slice like the one you can see right now on the screen is specifically busted shot, which shows how weird the ball physics are in this game. The game has also problem with speed of shots. Players hit stupidly fast balls, making rallies look like a table tennis match. When playing with a highly rated player, the match feels like watching a ping pong match rather than tennis show. Only when you play with the lowest rated players, the game looks somewhat more realistic. So, most of the time playing Tiebreak feels like players are on the moon with almost no gravity. Other times the game is like in high speed mode. Lack of consistency and realism is absolutely painful here. Next, we got to talk about the lack of court physics. Developers added grass courts in the release, but surfaces are still just aesthetical change. Matches in Tiebreak feel the same, regardless of surface type you are playing on. Tennis matches on grass should be faster and more aggressive with lower bounce and higher acceleration of the court. On clay court, match should slow down with higher bounce and slower ball speed. But in tiebreak, the ball bounces the same regardless of playing on grass or clay, so you will feel no difference besides aesthetics between surfaces. On top of that, players also slide a lot on all surfaces, which is super unrealistic. Now, let's talk about the nail to the coffin of tiebreaks gameplay for single player modes, the difficulty, or rather the absolute lack of it. The CPU is so damn broken that I don't even know if we should cry or laugh. Computer is capable to somewhat hold the rally from the baseline, but give it a potential winner and it will hit the net or make unforced error. Computer logic is basically non-existent when it's forced to play shorter balls or by the net. Let me show you the absolute joke of CPU programming in this game with this footage from doubles. Mind you, this footage is from the highest difficulty level being expert. In doubles, there is always someone by the net, and so the CPU plays, you guessed it, lobs like 90% of the damn time. Plus, computer does not know how to hit volleys in tiebreak, so it makes constant errors by the net. This doubles match that I'm showing you ended up with 25 unforced errors on CPU side, 0 winners, and 0 net points won. I will repeat for those in the back. My opponents won 0 net points in doubles and won 0 points in an entire set. As a side note for doubles, it's so broken that players cannot use lanes designed for doubles, but the computer-controlled players can. So there is no way any tester checked doubles and said, yep, good stuff, ready for release. It's just so obvious that nobody tested it or even played doubles in developers' team. But that's not all. Basically, every match I am playing right now against CPU on the highest level of difficulty ends in 6-0. I even won against Novak Djokovic, who is the highest rated player at 93, while playing with a generic player with the lowest possible rating of 43. And I won 6-0 while falling asleep. And no, I didn't play it on lower difficulty level. It was on the highest one. I am sure some people who just got the game will not have the same results I have, but no worries. This will come really soon, after maybe couple of days when the honeymoon phase is over. When you get the hang of the controls in the game and learn what works and what doesn't, you will not have any challenge playing tiebreak in single player modes. So, CPU behavior is super predictable, computer also lacks any game sense, or in fact it lacks the ability to play tennis from anywhere closer than the baseline. And it's a shame, cause clearly there was some effort put into single player modes, which we will discuss right now. With the release of Tiebreak, we got a nice fun mode for single player, which is a bunch of Djokovic challenges. We can basically recreate Novak's moments and unlock prime versions of players we faced there. These are really nice, neat touches, but as is the trend in Tiebreak, not without problems. See, the challenges are buggy. In one challenge, you are supposed to win the match by using slice volley. The problem is, the game won't count the challenge as completed even if you do so. And in another challenge, I was supposed to win the match with forehand topspin. I won with backhand topspin, yet the game counted the challenge as completed. Go figure. Then we have career mode, where we can play with a star player or create our own avatar. There are nice touches here, like the initial cutscene where our player enters the building with other pro players in. We walk into the locker room to see Alcaraz getting ready for a match. And then we start designing our own player. The player editor in Tiebreak is super well done. You have plenty of options to recreate yourself in the game or make your favorite legend. After the initial cutscenes, you start your road through challengers to rise in the rankings. The UI of career mode is similar to AO Tennis 2, and Tiebreak also has career-specific perks you buy with your earnings. Generally, World Tour seems like a nicely designed mode, but, and of course there is a but, there is a game-breaking problem with career mode. When you level up, you would expect your statistics to increase, right? Well, that's not happening in Tiebreak. Stats are bugged and so you cannot increase them at all. I got my player to level 5 and my stats stayed the same, and I could not improve them as well. There's also the second game-breaking bug in career for me on PC. See, you start your career with generic animations only. The game indicates that You can unlock more animations by winning charity tournaments. That sounds like a cool feature, right? The problem is, there are no charity events in my career on PC. Another user sent me a video of their selection on PS5, and charity events are there in Weekly Planner, but I don't have them. So there's no point playing now in the career mode. I cannot upgrade the stats of my player, neither can I change the animations they have. This is just ridiculous. And if you hope you can just continue your career after fixes are in place, be warned that previous fixes to career issues did not reflect in already existing careers with my players, so I had to start new career every single time. So basically, the career mode is completely broken and not worth playing until they fix these issues. Alright, now let's talk about online gameplay. Online competition may be the main activity for many of you, and so you may wonder, is it well done? Are matches tense and competitive? I bet you can guess by now what's my opinion on the online experience. First, it's hard to find matches. The crossplay does not work for me. I was queuing on PC with another user from PS5 at the same time, and we never connected despite being in the same geographical region. I was waiting 20-30 minutes queuing without success. The positive side is that other PS5 users said that he was able to connect to PC players, so I don't know what's up with this feature. When I finally connected to other PC players, we had somewhat fun when the connection allowed us to have smooth match. But any match with ping above 100 milliseconds is a lottery. With such ping, there is likely going to be some teleporting of ball and players in tiebreak, and because of that, you will have to guess where the ball goes. As you can imagine, it's not a fun online experience whatsoever. And even if you get good connection with other players, the match is likely going to be just a festival of top spins with little to no variation. I've had like one match in like 20 since the release, which was quite enjoyable in terms of fun, but even then, Tiebreak did not reach the heights of other tennis games like Tennis Elbow or Full Ace. The last issue I want to talk about are statistics. Basically, precision, spin and stamina don't seem to matter at all in Tiebreak. My 43 rated player makes just as accurate shots as does 93 rated player. I can play all the same slices, top spins and drop shots without any noticeable difference in how good players perform these shots, regardless of their stats. Stamina does not seem to work in this game either. There is a stamina bar that depletes during the rally, but it always resets to full after the point is finished. So what's the point of these stats? The only two stats that do impact gameplay somewhat are movement and power. Top-rated players do have stronger shots and move faster than the low-rated ones, but it does not impact the outcome of matches much anyway, due to how automated gameplay is with animation locks and superhuman sprint with 2 triggers. Alright, that was a lot of complaining about Tiebreak, so now let's talk about some positives, because despite how bad and buggy Tiebreak is as a tennis video game, there are a couple of good things about it. The biggest positive selling points of this game are licensing, graphics and animations of shots. All 3 of these elements are really well done for the most part. We have 120 plus players in the game, with most of them having really good face scans. Many players look lifelike, and it's really appreciated. Clearly, a lot of effort went into motion capture and detailed scans of player faces. There are some players who unfortunately look really off, like Maria Sharapova or Del Potro, but most of them are really well done. Also, players added in the latest patch have for the most part generic animations or not their own, so they are more like just skins of your favorite players. I hope developers add their animations soon, just like they did with previous additions to the roster. Speaking about animations, these are also very well replicated. Even the serving routines with things like waiting for Djokovic to finally serve feel quite realistic. Players like Sinner, for instance, have great ground strokes animations that make it look like you are playing with the real player. I just wish they allowed us to modify separately forehand and backhand animations, instead of putting it into one package. All in all, visual state of the game is quite good for a tennis video game. The game looks quite 2020s, which is not common for tennis titles. So, that was my review of Tiebreak full release version. This game is currently a completely broken mess of a tennis game. So many things are just flat out not working in Tiebreak, like computer difficulty, gameplay balancing, physics, or career mode. And things that do barely work don't save Tiebreak from being just a bad product. To sum up the issues Tiebreak faces, here is the list of all the problems I found in this game. See, when reviewing Tiebreak, I've had to push myself not to fall asleep while playing. Every match felt the same. No point feels really satisfying, rewarding or challenging. Half of typical tennis plays are exploitable in Tiebreak to a point where you have to tiptoe around computer not to break its so-called logic. While playing Tiebreak, I was just wishing to be done with it, so I can return to playing full ace and tennis elbow 4. And that, my friend, says everything you need to know about this game. I hope this review helps you make informed decision about purchasing Tiebreak. Perhaps they will fix this game in some time and it will be a good product. Fans of the game keep waiting for that magical patch that will fix Tiebreak and make it great. Personally, I am skeptical because, as you can see, there's so much to fix that it's ridiculous they have not postponed the release of this game. And how about you? What do you think about Tiebreak? Are you as disappointed with this release as I am? Or perhaps you find it to be an enjoyable tennis game despite the flaws? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then I would highly appreciate it if you drop a like. It only takes a moment of your time, but helps my channel grow. And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. Anyway, that's all from me in this video. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.